What I'm fishing here today is what they call the fall transition. And what you're looking for, and what I'm hoping is happening today, is that there's a window. There's this window where the fish, the big, nice fish, will come up even into 3 feet of water. And that window only lasts about a week. What triggers it is just a couple of cold nights. There's just a good average smallmouth here on the St. Lawrence at Lake Ontario. But it's all it takes is a couple of cold nights. Don't worry about your temperatures during the day. This week we're going to have 80-degree temperatures during the day, but last night it was in the 40s. Yeah. Why are they coming up shallow? Well, they're coming up to feed. Once they get that, that cold shot at night, they understand what's coming. So they'll come into these shallow bay areas and just kind of roam flats, chasing bait. And they get real aggressive. They'll hit just about anything, really. But really, primarily what they're looking for, what they're chasing, is shad and minnows. What I like to do is I throw some crab in there too. So I'll throw a football head jig with a craw trailer on it, and I like to throw that juvie craw. Just another average one. In the fall transition, they're coming from their summer haunts, and the first step is to go and hit those main channel, main lake points, and to get on humps. Okay, so you'll find them on those points kind of balled up, whatever. Then the next move is that little window that I was talking about, where they come right into the backs of those bays. So if you can find a bay, like I found today, where I've got 2 points and the bay around it. So the fish were going to come from those points that they moved up on first, and then they're going to go into those bays. And you're going to want to just kind of scan that whole flat. So normally I would throw a swim bait and just cover water. It's what I'm doing and running through there. And again, when I run into a rock, I'll throw a crab. But today we got slick conditions, so that puts them on edge. We're coming out of August, right? The month of August is brutal up here with fishermen, with tournament fishing. We have them all month long in August.
Yeah, he's a hog, dude. Hog.
The frickin' monster. It's a monster, man. So the bite, they've seen a lot of baits. They don't want to bite anything. We got calm conditions. That puts them on edge. They see your boat because we're in shallow water. That puts them on edge. So what I found, like if I'm going to be fishing a drop shot, what I like to do in these kind of conditions is get on those flats, turn off my electronics. 4.5 pounder. Had to weed through a whole bunch of them. Find him. Get on the front of the boat with a good set of polarized glasses and sight fish. I call it sniping, and I'm looking for a dark spot. Once I see that dark spot, now I gotta have my pole. I gotta have my pole in my hand, and it's all baited up. Once I see that dark spot, keep your eye on that dark spot. You turn your head to put a bait on, right? And that fish it wanders off into the abyss. And where they go, I have no idea. Keep your eye right on that fish, and then I'm not going to cast on him. I'm not going to cast next to him. I'm going to go 5-10 feet to the left, to the right, front, and behind him. Whatever. I'm not going to cast right on him. He's nice, man. 20 feet of water. I was able to see him on the bottom. And again, throw the drop shot down there. I didn't throw it right on him. I threw it off to the side of him, and you just be patient. I just let it sit there. The advantage on that one is I don't think he saw the boat. Once I make that cast, all I'm looking for is some sort of reaction. All right, he's probably more than likely not going to dart right over there and just smash it, okay, because he's on edge. But if I see some sort of reaction, a turn, then I know that he saw that bait. I'm going to just leave it there. What he's going to do is play this little game where they're going to circle the bait, and he'll come up and he'll sniff it or stare at it or whatever they're doing, then swim away, and then he kind of stays around in the area. The key to all of this is to don't move your bait. The reason being is we got slick conditions. He sees the boat. There's been tons of pressure, all kinds. They got lockjaw. So when I put a drop shot out there, whether it's a worm, minnow, I've even thrown craws on my drop shots this time of year, and they whack them. But if it's jumping and moving all over the place, it's just all of those factors compounded. It's just too much. Yeah, I'll take him all day. Look at that, beautiful. Got him right on the top of the lip. So the key is to set that drop shot out there and don't touch it. Don't touch it, just leave it there, and eventually, because they've come in to feed, eventually they're gonna come and get it. But that's what I found I've had to do today, because they're really not in that super aggressive mode. I think we're still too close to August. We're right in the beginning of September here. Right where you want to get them. No damage to the fish, but wow. Look at the colors and everything on him, man. That's just an average, that's a 3 plus right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think there's some 4s and 5s in there. I'm doing what I call sniping. And you're hunting a bass down. You're being stealthy, making the right cast, being patient, and playing with them, and then bam. And it's one fish at a time too. What we're finding here, and this is kind of the way it is up in this area year round, I'm not going to run into 15 smallmouth in a group on a flat here. It's going to be loners. Okay, these guys are all by themselves, aimlessly wandering through the flat, and I'm just going to catch a glance of them, and then I'm going to go after them. I'm going to hunt them down and snipe them. That's halfway decent. Good one. Could be nice. Oh, he's dark. This dude had a little thing on his lip, like a barb, almost like a pimple or something. The line is wrapped in that. When I got it in the net, I'm like, where's the hook? I didn't even have him hooked. It was caught into the line was caught into that pimple or burr or whatever he had on his lip. What I've determined today is that there are a lot more fish shallow than normal. Would I say that the bays and the coves are just loaded with fish, and I'd be honest with you, I didn't see any bait fish today. And I wouldn't say that the bays are loaded, but any spot that had a rock or any kind of form of cover, there was a fish on it. and a few of them are pretty decent. And I was catching fish, so I do believe it has definitely started, and within a day or two, I think these coves and flats are going to get flooded. It's going to be crazy good. Are the years just kind of stacking up on you? You know, you've been pushing the envelope for quite a while now. And something inside of you is telling you that it's time to get right with God. And you have all the best intentions in the world. You've been planning on doing this, but here we are. Another summer has come and gone. We're coming into wintertime, and you haven't done anything. You know, there's a lot of different times of the year that are great for change. One of them, obviously, is New Year's Eve. But you know, another great time to make changes is the changing of the seasons. You know, the Bible talks about the different seasons in people's life. Well, we're coming out of summer, we're going into winter. Why don't you fulfill that obligation you made to yourself? Dig your heels in and say, you know what? I'm going to go to church every Sunday. Maybe you can challenge yourself and say, hey, I'm going to read the Bible this winter. You know, and get yourself right with God. I want to tell you about another YouTube channel that I have, which is called Ditch Ministry. And you can find it. There's a video at the end that you can click on that will take you right there. But there you're going to find videos that are less than 10 minutes long, and they're going to run you right through the gamut. You got stuff for the new believer, foundational things about Christianity, and you got some deep things of the Holy Spirit and covenant for somebody who's been going to church for a long time. Why don't you click on that video and go check it out.